Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ditone, here to bring you another cast from the Rapture Gaming Network League 2013 to 2014. I am here today with the game between
5 seconds.
First Departure, Singaporeans, up against Awake, the... Please don't kill me, the Pinoys. Anyways.
Radiance ban.
Should be a good game. I am a little bit leaning towards the side of First Departure on this one, only because of my having lived in Singapore and having met one or two of these guys before. They probably don't know who I was. It was like literally a 5-minute encounter, but still, it counts. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it's just another game.
Reserve time.
This super long tournament.
Dyer's ban.
It's lasted from before TI3. Now, then there's a break for TI3, and now this is the first week of post TI3 games. The metagame changed a lot, and also a lot of the teams got mixed up quite a bit. So there's a couple of, I'm not sure if they're stand-in teams or trying out teams, stuff like that. I haven't gotten the full information on it yet.
10 seconds to go.
Point is, here for some Dota.
5 seconds.
That's what we're gonna get. First Departure. Haven't really been able to pin down their style.
Reserve time.
But from my previous guys with them, I'm not sure if they've changed over the last, since the qualifiers. But they always reminded me of a safe version of Zenith. Which, that's not just saying they're Singaporean, I'm just saying they play this kind of like European mixed aggression style. Not super aggression like CIS, Dota. But you know, sort of like the 30 kills at 30-minute kind of Dota. Regardless, they're fun. Sometimes they pick something weird or crazy. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this bans. We've got Awake, banning out the IO/Wisp. We'll be referred to as Wisp for the rest of ever. And the Visage, two ridiculously strong supports that just no one likes to play against. Sorry, fan. It is like 12 million degrees in my room. But First Departure, go ahead and ban out the Bat Rider and the Nyx/Lifestealer. Two very solid bans, nothing gonna blow your mind, no Abaddon first bans, no, nothing crazy. But
10 seconds to go.
First Departure saying we don't want to get Nyxed, and Bat Rider's stupid.
5
and they didn't have first
seconds.
pick, that makes sense. Wait, go ahead and first pick up the Darkseer, crazy good teamfight utility, amazing laner.
Reserve time.
Great mech carrier, amazing initiator if you get a blink dagger on him. It's very hard to ever say that Darkseer was a bad pick. You can lane him in, you can lane him off lane with ease. You can throw him jungle to either start or stay, depending on how greedy you want to be. If you want to be pre-TI3 Dignitas greedy, where you run him as your technical 4, you can do that. Doesn't work well as a support. Can be an easy lane, solo, mid solo. He's a good solo. That's like the moral of the story. But First Departure just kind of don't want towers to exist anymore. Picking up both the Chen and the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight, amazing for pushing down towers. Ultimate, just a little tick damage of doom and despair. Great for breaking towers early on. I'm not a big fan of the hero in general. Get a Shadow Blade on him, you go and gank a little bit, that's fun, that's fine.
10 seconds to go.
Sort of the drums BKB is really boring and doesn't do anything. He just becomes a non-factor too quickly. And I don't know, most mid heroes are good after maybe drums or a blink. And that's really it. Dragon Knight needs a lot more to be like that super huge impact. Needs the BKB. Drums are awesome on him.
Radiance ban.
But yeah, it also requires constant battle crowing, so your courier is pretty much occupied for that period of time. Awake, go ahead and play it safe. Pick up the Jakiro. Very strong lane. Not a strong lane support, but amazing mid-game teamfight hero. Just solid support. Stun's unreliable, however, that becomes reliable with the Darkseer.
10 seconds to go.
Wait, go ahead and ban out the Anti-Mage, which is kind of interesting. Most of the time, when you pick up a Darkseer or a Shadow Demon, or even both, you pick
Radiant's banned.
Are they picking Phantom Lancer? I think they're picking Phantom Lancer. Anyways, yeah, they're picking Phantom Lancer. So normally when you pick or ban the Shadow Demon or the Darkseer, you're expecting an anti-mage in the game or a Phantom Lancer.
10 seconds to go.
Are very, very strong illusion-based heroes. Anti-mage
5 seconds.
simply because of his mana burn, and Phantom Lancer because you have a million illusions that all mana burn. Mana burn, and some mana burn. We do see the Alchemist and
Radiant's
the Naga
pick.
ban out from first departure. Very surprised the Naga actually wasn't picked up in the first 4. And hero's been getting an absurd amount of play recently. Disgustingly strong lane support, and also mid-game and like counter engagement / engagement / Song of the Siren is just really annoying and no one wants to play against it. An Alchemist because he is scary.
10
He is
seconds
just
to go.
really scary. A Surged Alchemist is really scary.
5 seconds.
It's a pretty simple story. But I wouldn't be terribly surprised if Armageddon Awake go ahead and pick
Reserve
up the Coddle
time.
and then the Phantom Lancer here. Their team is pretty much designed for it now. They've got a tremendous amount of counter push. They've got plenty of team fight, which is one of Phantom Lancer's main weaknesses. They would have a strong 4v5, and now the Coddle makes even more sense. Tremendous amount of push coming out from first departure. You've got Chen creeps, you've got Treants, and now you've got the DK ultimate form, Poison Tick. I'm not actually sure what it's called. I've never looked at what the buff is. But the dragon form, and there's the Keeper of the Light.
Radiant's pick.
First departure should pick the Phantom Lancer right now. They will win the game if they pick Phantom Lancer right now, because Awake's entire team is geared around it, or a Void. Those are the 2 carry picks that Awake is looking at right now. What they want to do is they want to stall the game to the point where they have a tremendous amount of team fight. Tremendous amount of team fight.
10 seconds to go.
And if Phantom Lancer can get a heart,
5 seconds.
you can get a Manta, gets Diffusal, it'll be nigh unkillable.
Reserve time.
Or you get a BKB and just be hilarious, because it just would be the worst item pickup ever on him. But anyways, we're gonna see
10
what
seconds
first departure
to go.
wants to go. But they've got a couple. Oh, they go ahead and pick up the Rubik. Interesting.
Dyer's pick.
Works amazing with Chen. You just kind of pick. You can pick up whatever hero you want, and then drop it back into a Centaur Stomp, anything, into Dragon Knight. Also makes so you can steal Wave if you need to. You can steal Dual Breath if you need to. Like pretty much any of Darkseer's abilities, any of Jakiro's abilities, Keeper of the Light, and pretty much any Keeper's abilities. All very, very nice steals out of Rubik. Also, if you steal Coddle's ultimate form, it's really
10
funny.
seconds to go.
Doesn't really do much, but it makes it so that
5
if
seconds.
you steal if you have his ultimate, use it, steal his Q, then you get the free charge Q.
Reserve time.
Unnecessary, but absolutely hilarious if you get it to work. It's like stealing Lone Druid Summon Bear and then stealing his bear form. It's just, I became your hero. There is nothing you can do now. Run, peasants. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, solo casting hurts your throat a lot more than people expect. Also, it's exhausting. Seriously, if anybody knows somebody's looking for co-commentator or normal cast or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Shameless plugging. It's good for your soul. Just make sure. Yeah, okay, cool. Everything's working fine. I'm like super paranoid. I had a couple of recordings earlier today that just completely backfired. Why aren't they picking Phantom Lancer? Like, it's so obvious. Because if they don't pick it now, it's just gonna get banned by first departure.
Phantom
There we go.
Lancer.
Radiant's banned.
So what's first departure's solution to Phantom Lancer? It should be Gyro. Gyro's probably their best bet right now. Makes it so Awake can never push. Makes it so
10 seconds to go.
they never push. They never have the team fight advantage.
5 seconds.
And Gyro does a lot of damage. Ban the Magnus. Yeah, that's a fair enough ban.
Dyer's banned.
They did need a mid hero, and it would fit with their super team fight wombo combo of Doom. so can't really argue there. Awake will probably be banning out the gyrocopter. They'll be looking out to ban out another carry that could match Phantom Lancer.
10 seconds to go.
Also, that would fit this current theme.
5 seconds.
Yeah, there's the gyrocopter ban. I feel like we're
Radiant's
playing.
pick.
This is pre-international all of a sudden. But there's a Naga ban, so I'm saying it's not, and an Alchemist ban. I'll have to double check the recording of this, like when the actual replay was, and I'll put it in the comment section to see if I just casted like a 3-month-old replay. Regardless, it still should be a good game. Fan of First Departure. Heard of Awake. I think I've casted a couple other games. No.
Weaver.
And Weaver. Okay, yep. This is
Dire
current patch. Weaver, impossible lockdown. All of Armageddon stuff right now is very, very loose. There's no hard disable outside of Jakiro's Ice Path. His Swarm will do work on all the Phantom Lancer illusions. Also, I mean, normal MKB carrier, so shouldn't have to worry about Phantom Lancer pulling a butterfly from his arse. To explain his face.
5 seconds.
But yeah, I like the Weaver pickup. I think, considering their situation, it was pretty much their best bet. Also, he's got a great amount of presence, especially against a Darkseer, so he shouldn't have to worry about Darkseer being too powerful. But I don't think this will shake Awake all that much. I think they'll go and still pick something like a Quap, maybe a Timbersaw. Please pick a Timbersaw, and just win with Teamfight. They actually need something with quite a bit of lockdown.
10 seconds to go.
Probably another hard stun to set up for Chikiro / the
5 seconds.
vacuum.
Queen.
Oh no, there's the Queen of Pain. Pretty standard. Nothing mind-blowing coming out of this game, but at the same time, it's still a very solid pick. Does well against the Dragon Knight. Has a very solid counter push with the Scream of Pain. And the ultimate. I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see an Agus Queen of Pain in this game, just to kind of ward off a lot of the pushing coming out of First Departure. We're just gonna go ahead and wait for people to pick their heroes and jump right onto this game. God, it's been a while since I cast a Phantom Lancer game. I don't think my body's ready for this.
And 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
Again, just waiting for the last 4 First Departure members to select up there here, and here we go. Quick pause coming out right away. Calls out the sec. Needs the sec. That's fine. This is still on direct cam. I apologize. No, it's on free. No, it wasn't. I thought it was on free. It wasn't on free. Silly Dota TV. Anyways, we can go ahead and go over the lineup of Awake real quick while we wait for the rest of the players to get into the game. We've got YO2 on the Keeper of the Light. We've got Toy playing on the Phantom Lancer. We've got Berg Camps on the Darkseer. We've got Af, the Chikiro. You've got Boom Bell on the Queen of Pain. And so far, for First Departure, we've got QQQ playing up on that Weaver, and no one else. But anyway, so lane predictions. Wouldn't be terribly surprised to see Chikiro, Coddle, PL Tri-Lane going up against the brain. Against the Natures. Natures will probably just retreat into the jungle, which would be fine for both sides. We'll have Weaver, Rubik, and Chen. Whoa, brain lapse. On the bottom lane for the Radiant, Chen in the jungle, and Rubik doing all the pulling. Or at least most of the pulling. Both will be looking to get quick level 6s. Chen will be getting the mech. Rubik will be focusing mainly on the wards, the dust, the smoke. who's watch all that jazz. They'll be going up against the Darkseer. Weaver shouldn't feel too much pain up against the Darkseer. Might have a little bit of trouble if pulling gets too intense, but other than that, should be fine. And then we'll have Queen of Pain and the Dragon Knight going one-on-one.
Alright, carry on.
So let's go over and finish up talking about Archer. We've got QQ, as said, on the Weaver. We've got Hannah playing up on that Nature's Prophet. We've got Paulison, or Pelosin, however you pronounce it, up on that Dragon Knight in mid. We've got Lubby playing on the Rubik. And I already announced Hannah. Yep. So lanes are kind of working out as expected. They're going to go ahead and jump right on into the Radiant Jungle to start. Them being the Coddle and the Darkseer are going to try and get this ward set up as quickly as possible. I'm actually kind of interested to see who will get the mech for this team. I'm pretty sure it'll be the Coddle. And the Darkseer will go something like a faster Blink Dagger or something like that. Blink Dagger becoming increasingly more common on Darkseer. I think it was G who started it back during the prime of LGD and being the first couple of weeks that they were a team, when they gave Misery Chen every game and they won. G would play Nyx and Darkseer in mid quite a bit, getting Blink Daggers on both, and acting as the initiator for the team. And it worked really well for an extended period of time. But anyways, you see Af doesn't really have much. Just gonna be doing most of the pulling, just chilling. Shame on you, no cosmetics. You can't just commentate about cosmetics for like 2 minutes while this pause wears on. Well, let's look at the pretty ward. See something going on. Well, I'll take this second. Just appreciate it. And just take a second. Thank anybody who's turning in for this. Really do appreciate it. It means a lot. It's very hard for small-time casters in the current scene to kind of get noticed or something like that. So if you've somehow stumbled across this, I thank you oh so greatly for it. If you have any suggestions for my commentary other than, hey Ditone, you don't know what to do during pauses, it's valid criticism, and I'll take it. But yeah, you can check out my stream, twitch.tv/XESDitone, because Ditone was taken, and it made me really, really sad. Because it's never been taken. Ditone's never been taken. But anyways, as I was saying, I really do appreciate anybody who's tuning into this. It's like the little things to see, like the view count being greater than 0. But anyways, perfectly timed G coming out from Paulison. This game will now commence. Oh, I just wanted to go and place that one ward, spotted out the Weaver and the Chen, realized he couldn't go and get that pole camp warded, so just goes ahead and backs off. Fair enough. Af just gonna go ahead and scout the rune. Realize that Prophet will probably be starting in the jungle. Actually got pulled 2 clarities, which is pretty nice of his team. So I'm guessing, yeah, Chen doesn't really have much. The nice thing about Chen is you don't need anything to start in jungle. And we've got an illusion rune up on the Darkseer. Probably just go ahead and block the pole camp, assuming you can get there. Doesn't look like it. Weaver is kind of having none of that. But in terms of predictions, if this game goes late, I actually don't know who will win. The first of Archer will definitely need to get something done early on with brain, why are you doing this to me? They'll need to get something early on when it comes to towers and stuff like that, because that's pretty much how they've drafted this. their supports aren't as useful after that. Hand of God will always be useful, but the point of Chen is to get that kind of early advantage, to have that nice range. Seriously, can you not work? But to have that nice early gold advantage and the early map control presence. But this Darkseer should be able to get a couple of levels out of this. It won't be the greatest lane for him ever. And QQQ really shouldn't be contested all that much, so it'll be a matter of how well can he last hit. Queen of Pain will win against Paulson very easily. Like, very easily. Shut up, Aaron. And Hannah will be lucky to get more than a couple levels out of this, but he will try and disrupt the Phantom Lancer's farm as much as possible. Note, he did get 2 last hits, which is better than the Darkseer by 1. But it did take the PL a second to re-catch back up in last hits. So far he's tied with the Weaver, nothing too much to report here. But TK will be checking runes. It is top, so it will be regen, and that will help him quite a bit. It does push the tower into the wave, so unless the Quelf wants to waste her Scream, she will not be getting any of that nonsense. But in return, DK will take a small experience deficit, missing about missing a couple of creeps. But this Shadow Strike harassment should be able to keep coming out from the Queen of Pain. We did actually start with the Null Talisman, but she is damn near perfect CS so far, so can't argue too much with how she's playing this. Yeah, the Null Talisman was just to make sure that she secures that early last hit advantage. And this game will be very passive for the first couple of minutes. Until Chen hits 5, and until, let's see, major points for this will be DK needs to hit 6, which so far sitting at level 4, a little bit off, maybe another minute and a half or so. I wish I could turn off that chat. But about another minute and a half or so, he'll be fine. Toy, the main things he'll be looking forward to: Fusel, Heart, Manta, like every other PL. This Cuddle will just probably be jungling for the most part, just stacking the medium camp, blowing it down, and then Crying when Mud Golem spawn. Looks like Darkseer's gone ahead and retreated back into the jungle. Just gonna go ahead and just soak whatever experience he can there. Darkseer is actually an extraordinarily efficient jungler. One of the faster ones in the game. Just he doesn't contribute anything to your team while he's doing it. But that's kind of the role of an offlaner, though, for the most part, is you don't contribute anything until like the 20-minute mark. And then you've got a Prophet with a Shadow Blade, or you've got a Darkseer with a Blink Mech, something along those lines. Prophet did start with 4 clarities, and also that Glove of Haste getting pulled by Levy. So he's looking fine, probably on track for about an 8-minute Midas so far.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
Yeah, about 8-minute Midas. Maybe a little bit later. But Awake's actually going to take the take the advantage
Radiant's
here.
top tower's taking hits.
Press first departure, so to speak, and try and do some damage to this T1. They do have their first siege bag into the game, siege creep.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
I mean, they're just trying to force a reaction out of the Prophet. They won't be getting anything major here, other than some chip damage to the tower. Prophet should be TPing soon, but yeah, he was gonna go back to base first. Let's check mid lane. See, DK is not doing too bad, only 5 last hits behind the Queen of Pain. Note his Flame Breath does do damage to siege top tower. Extremely difficult for the Quap to really push into the Dragon Knight. The best you can do is kind of counter push. The Darkseer does rotate back, so does the Prophet. Pretty much one level ahead for the Prophet so far. But Darkseer doing fine. Really not much to complain about here. He is a little bit under leveled. Should be probably like level 4, maybe almost level 5 now. But nothing drastic. We see Dragon Knight does have his ultimate form now, so he will start chipping away at this tier 1 middle. I will wait to see what the actual debuff is called, so I'm not an idiot saying Dragon Knight thingy. which doesn't sound very professional. Tuttle does pick up his boots, and he is level 3, almost 4. So sitting nice and dandy. Realize that they can kind of just run a dual lane against this Prophet, and then he won't be able to do anything. The dual breath from Jakiro is extremely effective, zoning out Prophet and his treants. Pretty much anything AoE is amazing at zoning out Prophet. But we have, oh no, there's potential for a small engagement there, as Chen and Rubik were both in position to pick up that Coddle, who is denying the 6-minute room.
Middle is missing.
Get rid of the trees. But in last hits, we see that Weaver is a tad behind, but he has been lasting under tower much more than the Phantom Lancer has. But in return, the Jakiro is level 3. Oh, we have a quick DC coming out. With the Phantom Lancer almost level 6, where the... yeah, I mean, they're pretty close. Check support levels. Yeah, the main difference is that since Jakiro's been soaking so much lane experience, not pulling, but making his Phantom Lancers, like, lasting life a little bit easier, he has suffered for it in levels. Only barely level 4, whereas Rubik is very solidly level 5, halfway to level 6. Been doing this little trifecta pull, where you pull into easy camp, this medium camp, you pull into the other medium camp, and then you can pull into the hard camp, assuming Chen already has his creeps, which he can get here, kill the small camp. Kind of works out perfectly, and Chen will come and soak experience off of this also, just to make sure he can maintain his levels too, because he's just as level dependent as any other hero is, for the first couple of levels anyways. Getting up to level 7 on him is pretty crazy. Like, if you can, then you have your test of faith, just kidding, holy persuasion, so you have 3 creeps, and it makes it much easier to push down towers and swords. Anyways, Quap still DC'd. Looks like it was forced back to base by the Dragon Knight, who has been constantly bottle crowing. Very, very tied in last hit, which is very interesting to see, because most of the time when you see Quap against a melee hero, did she go 2 points to Shadow Strike? No, she didn't go the 2 points to Shadow Strike. I guess wanting that faster Scream ultimate to help the other lanes. But most of the time what you do is you see 2 levels in Shadow Strike, not because that's like the critical level where it does the most damage, but mainly the cooldown is 16 seconds, and it lasts for 15 seconds. So you can constantly have a melee champion, melee hero, whatever you want to call it, a low attack range hero, being affected by that, making it so he can't always taking damage, just afraid to get close for creeps. The nice thing about DK is that you can just breathe fire, but then you're expending mana every time you want to get a last hit, which then you're not using your breathe fire for the more important situations, like counter pushing before runes, or pushing the wave before runes, or that's really the important part. There's not multiple situations where you're using breathe fire. You're mainly using it so you can secure a rune every time. So QQQ this game, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if he forgoes the Lincolns. I don't really see it doing too much. The only main thing would be the mana drain, which is only an issue until 16 when Weaver's time lapse doesn't cost any mana. The only other thing would be Spear, I guess, that's targeted. So there's really not much point in going Lincolns this game. I'd much rather see something like a Medallion BKB Deso. That's an insane build. Like, you combine it with Swarm, and you have so much negative armor that you and the Dragon Knight can just pound down any of these guys. Like, especially, one of my favorite things to do in pubs is get Medallion, especially playing against an illusion-based hero. And as soon as you figure out which one is the real one, you Medallion them right away, because it pretty much ends up being like a target, like a giant arrow saying, this is the right one. You can't screw this up. Which would be great for Rubik Lift or Sprout or anything like that. Although he might just go Lincolns to be overly safe. Although I much prefer the BKB. BKB makes it so that Phantom Lancer's Diffusal on his illusions does magic damage. Well, Diffusal in general does magic damage. The magic The mana burn is magic damage, so if you have BKB, you're pretty much immune to that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4 seconds. Which gives you a certain period of time where you can just unload and not have to worry about it whatsoever, where the majority of his damage is coming from. However, as the game goes later, it will start to do... He does do quite a bit of damage, especially if he gets something like a butterfly out. But, I'm not sure DK does well against him, because his ultimate form is a very large splash that will slow all the illusions down. So that's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Anyways, Quin is now reconnected to the game. We've now been in this cast for about 25 minutes, and 6 minutes on the clock. Regardless, G does come out, and we can get back to last hitting creeps. See, Coddle's just been kind of rotating around between lanes, making sure that no lane is too pushed out, so they're not giving up towers for free. But yeah, Weaver did go treads this game. I've seen a lot of discussion whether or not treads or phase is better on him. Personally, an advocate for phase, just because, I don't know, it's funnier. And the fact that you're getting the 25 times 2 instead of 10 times 2, just a little bit of extra damage. It's not game changing, but it's something. You see Weaver scooching through, get a time lapse out actually. Interesting decision. But between the Coddle and the Ion Shell, they do have quite a bit of counter push. So that
structure's
gets 2 or 3
fortified.
creeps. Actually, his creep dies. That's pretty big. It means he's got to go and redo 2 more creeps.
Dyer's mid tower could use a little help.
His card cap, just a little bit more. But we can see what happens when somebody leaves Dragon Knight alone for 2 seconds. He brings a tower down to half health.
Middle is missing.
Meanwhile, we see Toy gonna go ahead and go for that drum build to start. Maybe go drum Yasha Diffusal instead, just so his illusions have that little bit of extra move speed, a little bit of extra attack speed. Just, it makes him a little bit tankier. It's 8 or Jesus, 9 to all stats, a little bit of damage. What you want on PL is a lot of stats anyways, so really can't be too angry with that decision whatsoever.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
Jeez, Quin getting down to like
The
no
Radiant's
HP.
got one less top tower.
Manages to go ahead and get that invis room. Might actually be looking for a kill real quick if Paulson gets any sort of over aggressive. Coddle gets the blast off. Coddle's sitting at level 4, which isn't really the state you want to see a Coddle at. One of the great parts about Coddle is you can just sit in jungle. You're not really going to stop it. Okay. Oh, actually lift and then kill on the Queen of Pain for first blood. Just kind of an instinctive sentry. They did see the invis rune pickup, so that might have been their hint. Actually, did they? Yeah, they did. So that explains it. That's a very, very nice pick off there. Queen of Pain is a snowball hero. She's a safer snowball hero, but she's still a snowball hero.
Dyer's mid tower's heaven. The Dyer couldn't hang on to that mid tower.
So far the trade has ended up being a 1-for-1, trading mid tower for top tower.
Bottom
oh, they also ended up getting bottom tower. Well played by the Weaver. I do have a sentry in lane now, so if he does get over aggressive, he will be able to. He will get caught out and be punished to a certain extent. Now with 2 creeps up. Nothing terribly shocking there, only has boots and dust, actually. Gonna be probably looking for a kill out on that Phantom Lancer sooner than later. He does have 70 last hits at 10 minutes, which is, I think, almost perfect CS. I think it's 80 at 10 minutes is perfect. Regardless, still very well played by Toy so far. The only difference that Dragon Knight has been involved in a kill, so he's gotten a little more, and he's got some EXP sucked out, so the Weaver is now the same level as him. But only just. Oh, there was, sorry. There was just a kill up on that Nature's Prophet. Looks like, yep, Quap ult was used, and last ult.
Radiant's mid
Doesn't really have much
tower's
of a
coming
chance.
apart.
He doesn't really have any HP. Does have his Midas up, so he didn't get stalled any ridiculous amount of time, and has had it for last minute or so. So not the fastest Midas, not the slowest Midas, and they're gonna go ahead and push top now, try and deny this Vandal Lancer a little bit of farm, a little bit of safety. At least make some stop farming for a tiny bit, or focus on a different
Dire's
lane.
top tower's getting beat down.
Oh, actually, he died. What am I
Radiant's
talking
mid tower
about?
could use a hand.
Oh my god. Yeah, so Chen does get the pick off.
The Dire might want to
Where's
mine
Vandal
the
Lancer?
top
And I'm
tower.
like,
Dire's
didn't
lost
even
the
acknowledge he
top tower.
died. Wow. I apologize very greatly. Once again,
Radiant's
I've taken
mid
a
tower's
very
getting
long
back
break from
up.
Dota, so I'm trying to get back into it as quickly as possible. Lubby does go ahead, blink up, tosses back, the Queen of Pain, gets nuked down. Not another fire breath too soon. And Jakira will go down to the fire breath, and the Darkseer will be going down. Very nice Dragon Tail coming out of Paulison right before the cooldown finished. Toy already back into the fray, but his illusion's not really doing anything to Dragon Knight right now. They finish the D ward, go on their way. 2 kills to nothing in their favor. Also, they get top T1 in the meantime. Hannah
Without
finishing that
consequence.
off, I believe. No, Chen finishing off, whatever. But Hannah just kind of showing up there, still farming. So this kind of started the first departure needed. They needed to make sure they could get a couple of kills on the PL, make sure they could stop his farming a bit, get a solid tower advantage, and just have this nice map control advantage. I already see they've dewarded mid, so they at least know that this mid area is under their control. We do have Co-op with some support behind her. Might have been able to look for a kill, but DK is just really, really tanky, sitting already at 1300 HP, has the bracer up, but is going, oh, I'm so happy. I thought he was going back for drop, but he is going for that Shadow Blade. We'll have it in less than 90 gold. Meanwhile, see, Coddle is going to be the mech carrier, or they really need to fix that out. There will be 2 mechs on Zetaboik sooner than later. Darkseer, just about 700 gold off from his mech, will help with this counter pushing quite a bit. Weaver is going to go ahead and go for Lincolns this game just to be super, 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 super safe. I think too safe in this case. I think BKB is much better. It's cheaper, and you can start fighting faster, and you can get another sort of early game item like the Medallion. Once again, Medallion Weaver is, I am in love. But we do have the Shadow Blade now up on the Dragon Knight. We'll be able to make a gank happen with that. Probably going to be looking for this Darkseer. Coupled up with this Weaver, we'll be able to do quite a bit of damage. Should Shadow Blade... Nope, not going to. So probably just Shadow Blade as soon as the creep wave passes. Yep. Just gonna make sure that season. Ooh, even ulting for this. Very nice play. Is gonna go ahead and get the stun up. And the swarm. Breathe fire goes through. Niche profit ult. And Weaver does get the last hit. So very well executed. Just a nice solid gank.
Guess what's happening?
Shadow of Permanence guarantees a free gank for you. Meanwhile, Scripted is gonna go ahead and get caught out. Pops the hand of God. Gets Scream gets stolen. Oh, nice screen. Goes through by Levy. Is it gonna be enough? No. App just barely getting away on 19 HP. The troll summoners don't actually be able to kill him. But so they get 2 for nothing. Barely don't get that
couldn't save that bottom
Jakiro. But they do end up trading the bottom T2 out of it. So overall a very even trade. But yeah. QQQ now finishes up his Perseverance, only about 400 gold off. Brain work. Brain, I swear.
Radiant's mid tower's coming
about 400 gold off. But yeah, let's check this in. Hana now has their treads and Midas. Come on, get the last hit. Do it. Yeah, he did it.
Go!
So I was watching ISS's stream, and according to him, who told him, somebody told him, anyways, 27 minutes is a good time to have all your stuff out. All your stuff being Scythe and Shadow Blade. Pretty much your standard Bulldog split push, Prophet of Death to spare. And it does look like Phantom Lancer is about to finish his Diffusal. 15 minutes Diffusal, Drums, Tranquils. Not the greatest, but he is sitting on top of the last hits with triple-digit last hits at 15 minutes, so really can't argue there. However, Sparm has been slowed down. Tiny Bit has managed to secure a kill, but at the same time, is also lacking a little bit. They are going to go ahead and get these aggressive boards up right away. They should. Yeah. Dire should know, but still. They go ahead and get a nice, quick, easy pickup on the darks here. Ice Path doesn't hit on anybody. Tornado of Imbunus is slowly but surely making his progress over the top. They are going to be able to probably take this T2 mid with relative ease once again with Trian, with Chen, or with Nature's Call, Chen, and the Dragonite with his newly revised ultimate form. It's very, very solid. Paulison is going to go ahead and try and get this kill on the spot, gets the lift back afterwards. Very well played. Nice chain of their stuns together. Paulison going to go ahead and get sent back. That will be the end of the push. So now, only one outer terror remaining for Awake. This Coddle, I mean, doing his job, but it doesn't seem to be enough counter push for just the insane amount of pushing lineup that First Departures has conjured up. Diana now, 16 minutes in, has the Smite, Treads, and Shadow Blade. Just sitting waiting. We've got QQQ sitting now with his Linkosphere. And probably be looking for his first damage item next. I would guess the MKB would be the one to come out, mainly to prevent the Phantom Lancer from getting the bright idea of buying a Butterfly. Cuddle does go ahead and pick up a very early gem, which is sort of peculiar. He picks it up for the Queen of Pain. He was going BKB, which is the sign of a defeated Queen of Pain. But, does go ahead and pick up a very early gem, which is sort of risky because you're not sure if, like, when you're losing team fights, now you've also, like, staked a gem on the line. Which is kind of risky, which is very risky at times. What am I talking about? It's not kind of risky. 17-minute mech, not the best time. Most of the times you want to aim for about 13-14 minutes on a Darkseer. But 17 is nothing to scoff at. We do have the Diffusal now up for the Phantom Lancer. Going to be looking to actually contribute to these fights. Not yet, but probably after getting a casual Fit Booster as his next item. It will make it so that he can fix it. And that was really well played by Kumbo. Just about a second too late out onto that Hand of God. But did you see that the gem is now on Kumbo? Might be going for a QQQ. Now we're going to be chasing after Darkseer. Gets sprouted. Chen is here with the net. Will be falling very shortly, maybe. Yeah, the last auto attack from the Weaver follows through. Drop a sentry, but it warded very quickly. Toy takes quite a bit of damage, but backs off. And the main problem with Phantom Lancer right now is that he doesn't have much health. He doesn't have like any sort of reliable damage outside of the Fusel and his oh, and he has no reliable way to make illusions. He's got to either use Spear and then like hope for procs, which is very risky. Anyways, Boombell gets right back in thanks to Auto Recall, even though I could have done that with a scroll. It saves 135 gold, so why not? We go ahead and deward. If the call out of the gem hasn't already been, it should have been just now. They had a sentry ward, so you had wards. So this is actually a very nice way for Awake to get back in this game, is this gem pickup. It's very high risk, high reward for them. Unlike in other situations where, let's say, you're winning every team fight, you don't need to worry about it. Ooh, Paulison getting picked out here. Does have the gem. Might continue. No, they go ahead and back out on that. But it makes it so they can regain map control. One of the goals of Virtuous Departure here is to make sure that they have map control, to make sure that they can see where PO is farming at all times, so that if they have if they're in the right situation, they can go and kill him if need be. It also makes it so that they know where the enemies are, so they can take ganks if they want to, or they can to make it so they can push reliably, things like that. Well, you see 4 heroes now on the bot lane, and a smoked First Departure inching closer. They know where Phantom Lancer is, and Phantom Lancer has an idea that probably shouldn't be there. So he goes ahead and backs away, back to lane, now sitting on 1400 gold. So the smart option, or the safe option I should say, would be to get the Bit Booster. Just to make sure that his illusions have a little bit more reliable health and go with the heart as his next item. But he might go Yasha, just for some more damage early on. But anyways, they're going to go ahead and chip away at this T2.
Radiant's mid
The
tower's
dire
getting
side.
banged up.
They should be able to get it with relative
Radiant's
ease.
mid tower's
Meanwhile, they do
getting
trade the mid
1-4.
T1 for it.
Dire's got one last
So it's
top
not-
tower.
It's not for nothing, however, it's still a much better trade on the side of the Dire. So now, this entire jungle, this area here, this area, is now extremely dangerous if they didn't have the gem. Because now they can just de-ward and be like, there's no wards here. They still have to run the risk. Are they in there right now? They've only got this area sort of under their vision. So in first departure shoes, does anybody have medallion? Sorry, I keep harping on medallion, but it's so good. Also, Prophet died. They've got a gem, and he's got a Shadow Blade. And now first departure go and pick up their own gem. And we can hear a stun on App. He's going to go ahead and get taken down very quickly. They haven't been able to get off this wall or this ice path vacuum combo just yet. First departure making it really difficult for them. Kind of taking not unconventional but sporadic team fights, and they just let it go. But they're gonna go ahead and take Roche. It's the very smart thing to do. Solidify this advantage. And that's what I was gonna talk about. The medallion is it makes it so they can take Roche even faster. But with Trains tank it up and then Dragonite to pick it up afterwards, this should be a free Roche. I'm not sure if Awake will try to take this fight. If they do, it will be very up in the air. And now they will know that they are approaching that high ground, but they are going to take this Roche very, very shortly, if not pretty much now. BKB does get popped, and Bluebell gets netted by the Soul Creep right away. Vacuum all back down on the low ground. No wall, though, gets stunned up right afterwards. Can he even get the wall off? No, he can't even get the wall off. Anyways, QQQ now just going to town, running through the fact that there's really no reliable stuns on their side whatsoever. Is probably going to take down Af really quickly, and does actually manage to take him off. Oh, there's a stun on the real toy. He's going to go ahead and probably take a fall right now. Yeah, he goes ahead and takes a fall. Meanwhile, Prophet throwing his life away before the Queen of Pain to help secure that kill. Regardless, now they've traded 3 for 1, and they got the Aegis. So very, very nice trades coming out of first departure. Gonna go ahead and start working on this tier 3 now. Will be very hard because of this pesky Keeper of the Light. This is like where it pays to have something like a Clockwork or something like that, but still, Q does have his time lapse, and will time lapse. Yeah, there you go. Playing it really close, sitting on 24 HP as he Sakuchi'd away from that screen. But Boom Bell, scaring them off for the time being. Just, yeah. Kind of interested what he'll go as his next time. I'll probably be looking at the Ultimate Orb for the Scythe of Ice. For that extra mana regen, is missing quite a bit of it right now. Not just the mana regen, but the stats and the fact that it's one of the best stuns in the game. And its range, and it's amazing. Why aren't you picking up Scythe of Ice every game on every hero? As we dawn on the 24-minute mark, we go ahead and check out the hero levels. We see that Weaver and Dragonite are currently leading the way, tied with the Quap. Dragonite doing actually a very nice game of having a presence in this game, which is different than most Dragonite games. That stealth really paying off for him, and actually the Weaver went for the Desolator. I really like this decision, because we noticed Jakiro has 3 armor, Darkseer's an exception, Queen of Pain only has 6 armor, and Cuddle only has 3 6 armor. Phantom Lich is a bit of an exception, but it also makes him much easier to kill. Also, Dragonite does more damage, so can't argue there. It's also, so how, for anybody who's never seen Desolator Weaver before, how it works is that his first attack is to Desolate, but the Sakuchi, or the Geminite attack doesn't get it. Display. Oh, actually, Gem on the Dragonite is going to go ahead and bring Toy down really quickly. Are they going to be able to get him? No, he doesn't. The Blinding Light doing just enough. First up, QQQ just going full balls to the wall there. Does manage to time lapse out. And Sakuchi away. Shouldn't be having too many issues now. But the first attack will have the Desolate and apply the negative armor, and the Geminite will benefit from that negative armor. Which makes it so it's a really, really just effective item in general. They are going to go ahead and actually take this T3 while the solving going on between the
The
Dragon's
dire
Brain
better
actually
do
do
something
very, very low. Is going to go ahead and pop Aegis right now. Well played by the Queen of Pain. Koi does get lifted up. BKB pops on Policy, doing a ton of damage, but just kind of running around in circles, unsure of what to attack right now. Meanwhile, Weaver's just in the fray, doing a ton of damage. He's going to now focus on this Rax. Ice Pass. They are going to go ahead and take this Rax, which is exactly what they need. Most games you say, oh man, they got Rax, this is the game. This might not be it, but it's what they've drafted to have to deal with this this Phantom Lancer. Still no real true lockdown for Boombow, especially anything that goes through BKB. Outside of the stun and lift, which is becoming less effective now that he gets more and more HP. So they will need to find another way, either to set the Vice, that should be coming up on the Prophet very shortly. Or no, he's actually going to Orchid. Interesting decision. It's fine, because it disables Blink. Actually, he's got it now, so I can't be too angry about that. Lubby actually managed to pick up a Blink, even though he can steal Queen of Pain's Blink, so now he can technically have double Blink, which is awesome. So Chen goes ahead and just responds, sitting on Cloak, Arcanes, and Mech. Nothing groundbreaking. We'll probably be working towards that next 30-second Hand of God is a joke. It means every 30 seconds you can Mech Hand of God and heal your team for way too much health. Phantom Lancer actually does go ahead and pick up the Reaver first as his decision. We'll be working towards that heart, like I said, like I thought. However, I don't know. Vid Booster actually gives you more health for the item. Like, it's more cost-effective health. But I mean, each is their own. Phantom Lancer doesn't benefit from the 20 strength for damage, but he still gets the extra level HP regen, and his lasers do get quite a bit more health, now sitting at 1500 compared to the 1k of before. Weaver now sitting at 2100. After this Ancient stack, we'll probably be looking to pick up the Demon Edge, either for the Desolator or for the MKB. I'd be guessing for Desolator, just for the extra burst right now, but so far First Departure is very much in control of this game. One Rax down, but it's also what they drafted for. They drafted for this really, really fast push, this 25-minute Rax. And it's been their solution to do the Phantom Lancer, and it's worked so far. It's 28 minutes, and he doesn't have a heart yet. That's sort of sad for the Phantom Lancer. But once again, he's had his map control taken away from him. It's very, very unsafe for him to farm right now. And the Chen has been very, very vigilant. Wow, that was not a word. Vigilant in buying dust to making sure that they could gank him whenever need be. So we do see that Hannah is kind of manning up on this Queen of Pain. We'll probably fall real quick. Yep, BKB is off the Orchid, but trades his life for a BKB charge. Prophet, it's actually not that bad. He's actually 0-4, which is very sad for Hannah. It's nothing. This is no Admiral Bulldog triple kills with only phase boots on Prophet. This is a Prophet who sacrifices his life for the greater good. Probably would have been even greater good if he had gone and decided for the Hex instead. But simultaneously, Orchid isn't bad, especially if BKB's down. It pretty much guarantees a lockdown on the Queen of Pain, and also on the Phantom Lancer. Makes so that you can't double walk, and makes the bursts more effective on him. The Queen of Pain now has picked up the Ultimate Orb, is making a bit of a bounce, has made a bounce back into this game from 2-2, now 7-2. We'll be looking towards that Hex as the next item. Probably going to be trying to Hex out the Weaver, which is now where Lincoln Sphere becomes a really good item, because they've got to waste another targeted ability. Guess what they don't really have that many of is targeted abilities. So I'll probably have to get another item like somebody would have to use a Force Staff on or something like that. But anyway, this Darkseer is looking very sad. Note, at 17 minutes he had his mech. He's had nothing since. His item progression has just halted. He's 0-5, only 3 assists. They haven't been able to take a proper team fight with everyone there at one time. And he's suffering the consequences for it. When you have a team fight, these two team fight heroes, and you're not team fighting, you're just kind of losing a tower and then walking away. It's very difficult. Especially considering now that that the Dragon Knight does have his BKB out. Weaver now with the most powerful rune in the game for him. Note, it does benefit from his Gemini attack also. Veil stun. And actually, Paulson might trade life? No, it does have his Chen here, so it should be totally fine. gets Force Staff, which is kind of interesting, and goes ahead and just goes to town on Bluebell. Is actually going to bring him down before the fight even starts. Nice vacuum wall into the ice path. However, it just doesn't look to be enough damage. Koi walking away. Orchid wasted on that illusion. Bluebell does fly back into this game, jumps in onto Lovey, and drops the ice path before he dies, but they need to retreat. They're actually losing this fight quite badly. Or not badly, but they're losing this fight. It does force the buyback out of the Queen of Pain, but they should all be able to get out with relative ease. Dragon Knight does need to just wait there and be sad for a little bit longer. They do blink up trying to catch out the Weaver, but it doesn't happen. Big thing is that buyback, that forced buyback for the Queen of Pain is now 1k farther away from her Hex. So that sort of scary level of lockdown is less of a factor.
At Radiant's bottom tower.
But Nature Prophet just put pushing, as he does. It doesn't do as well against a Coddle until you can get a sheep and just kind of TP and sheep them. But they do go ahead and take another, the last T1 of the game, which is very solid. This Weaver does need another damage item, and as I'm saying that, they pick up Darkseer with the Nature's Prophet. I would suggest crits in this case, just because our survival. He goes and buys a full BKB. It's an interesting decision. I'm not going to argue with it. Pop is doing purely magical damage, but now it warrants the question of whether or not the site, or whether or not the Lincoln's worth it. But it's arguing semantics at this point. So yeah. You note that Weaver has not died yet this game, which is, I wouldn't say like insane, but it's well played by the Weaver. Most people, there's pretty much two styles of playing Weaver. Either you play overly aggressive, knowing that you can escape, or you play super defensive, knowing that if you misstep, that pretty much you can never really get caught out. We do have a Shadow Blade up on Paulison. Is going to go ahead and smack him down. Oh man, that Queen of Pain just melted. Weaver should really drop his TP scroll. Now he's got double gem. We've got a Dragonite with double gem. It has happened, friends. Should go ahead and deal with that real quick. Yep. This is no longer a factor. And Queen of Pain doesn't have buyback, so they can go ahead and siege this, or they can go bottom, or they can just split push. They have so many options at this point, because they have so many pushing heroes. It's not like, oh, they need to push with this hero because he's the one who pushes. It's no, everyone on their team is good at pushing. Like, look, Dragonite's just chilling in their base. He just doesn't even care. He's gonna keep smacking on Toy, and he has no mana. So that's actually a bit of a situation here. He does pop his BKB, doesn't have Aegis or anything like that, sitting on 500 HP. Will be falling very shortly. Does actually manage to get out totally fine. Nice. Rick stole the ulti version of Illuminate, so doesn't have to worry about that. But meanwhile, QQQ does go ahead and take that top T3 with Hannah. Totally okay. The only one there is the Coddle. Now with TPing in Hero, but they just lost another Rax. Yes, they almost killed the Dragonite, but they don't even kill the Dragonite with both gems. And now they can't even kill QQQ. He's just gonna BKB TP, and he's gonna totally not die. So he died. That sucks for him, but they now have 2 lanes of Rax up against a Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer can deal with 1 lane of Rax, not so much 2 lanes of Rax. Even with Heart. Yes, I know. It's crazy. But he's good at pushing 1 lane. Not good at pushing multiple lanes. He's not a Prophet. He's not an Anti-Mage. Doesn't have that super insane move. That Darkseer's level 11 at 34 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a second look at hero levels real quick. No, Weaver and Quap both contesting for first place, followed by the Dragonite and the Nature's Prophet, both sitting at a comfortable level 17 for 34 minutes. Hannah Nussing on 5.6k gold. I'm telling you, buy the scythe. You have enough for it. Just do it. But awake, realizing pretty far behind in this game, do need to try and find a way back. And they go and try and take Roche, however, this is just going to backfire them. Bluebell does manage to get his Aegis off, not enough damage. Weaver is still dead for a little bit longer. Did he actually buy up anything? Yeah, no, right, he bought the full BKB. But, Paulison just kind of holding them back for now. They do have vision here. Nice Force Staff out by the Keeper of Light, making sure he stays alive. They did realize their mistake and do only have one knife for their team, which is probably pretty good. Phantom Lancers, 900 gold, not nearly towards his next item. Nearly close enough towards his next item, anyways. Still sitting on Tranquils. Probably should switch those over to either BTs or maybe even just full treads right now. I think full treads would actually probably be worth it. Really going back off of Roche, trying to bait it a little bit.
Top racks just taking hits.
Meanwhile, creeps are pushing in on both lanes, so they are going to be forced to retreat. And as soon as they see heroes defending there, they're going to go ahead and retake Roche. Especially considering Lubby just picked up a haste. It has a gem. Gems are in this game. Anyways, policy BKB's on managed to take a bit of pain down, no problem. And Toy falls very shortly afterwards. Weaver just going to start going to town on all these people. And all these people's Zeos. Darkseer goes ahead and falls very quickly. And it's going by him. That Scythe of Eyes, after all my bitching, and managed to pick up a double kill. See the correlation? It's there. Connell, the only one left who was defending the base, and first Archer just had a really nice catch-up, and there's the GG from away. Pinoy's surrendered to the Singaporeans. 36-minute game that probably took over an hour. Well played nonetheless. Anyways, thank you very much for tuning in this short little, definitely short little broadcast of First Departure versus Awake. Make sure to follow, subscribe, all that jargon, and I'll see you next time when I'm casting another game, and it's awesome. See you later.